What's going on, Jam Fam? Welcome back to the gaming station. So today we're going to be going over the Q&A questions that I had you guys ask for Bagelz, the 2K Leon player. I gave you guys a couple of days to ask the questions on that previous video, and then over the weekend I sent him the questions. He got back to me about them. I took Sunday off because I uploaded literally every day this week. So now I'm recording this. It's Monday. I'm going to try to have this out later on Monday. If not, it'll be out early Tuesday. So what I did is I went through all of the comments and wrote down the questions, and if somebody asked a question multiple times, I just omitted it, but I will throw as many of those questions up on the screen as I can find. And then I wrote all the questions down in a Google Doc, and I sent it over to Bagelz, and he just wrote down his answer over on the Google Doc. So I'm going to try to crop that into the video as well. So I'll throw the question up on the screen, and then I'll throw up the question and answer from the Google Doc on the screen. So that's how basically this is going to go. And if you guys enjoy this video, leave a like on it for me. I know I don't normally ask for likes on videos, because personally I don't really care if they get likes or not. The only reason why I'm asking for this one specifically is because this is definitely a different style of video for me, and I wasn't sure how to approach the non-voice chat podcast style. So if this is the format we want to go with this style of video, just leave a like on it for me. You know what I mean? Alright, with my rambling out of the way, we're just going to jump right into the questions now. Okay, so the first question real quick, I didn't actually ask Bagelz this because I already knew the answer. Direct Brawl Stars, he asked, do you have a YouTube channel? Yes, Bagelz does have a YouTube channel. I'm going to leave it in the link in the description, and I'll probably pin it in the comment as well. Okay, so the next question is going to be asked by Sundar, and he asked, why did you choose to push Leon? Bagelz replied, because he's pretty fun and good in solo showdown at the moment. So, there you go. Good in solo showdown, and he's fun to play. Next question was asked by No Wi-Fi. He asked, what aspired you to make the push? I'm assuming you meant inspired. So he replied, IDK, I thought it would be cool. So he pushed Leon because he thought making a 2000 push Leon would be cool. Obviously it was never done before, so yeah, it's definitely a goal. All right, the next questions were asked by Guva, and he asked, how long did it take you to push Leon to 2K? Bagelz replied, it took a bit more than 100 hours. That's actually really insane. In 2 weeks, he played 100 hours on one brawler. I don't know if I could do that personally. Guva also asked if there was any changes that Bagelz would like to see to Leon. Bagelz replied, he needs a buff for sure. Maybe a slight buff to his HP or super duration. I think the HP buff is definitely needed. The super duration could be a little overpowered, but honestly, I wouldn't hate it if he became meta because it's been so long since Leon was actually in the meta. Okay, so the next question, Yuri asked this. He actually asked a bunch of questions. I kept it down to 2 though. Yuri asked if he played any other brawlers during this time. He said only for power play and a daily quest. So he was getting his boxes and he was doing his power play, but other than that, it was just straight Leon. And that makes sense because when you're trying to push that many trophies, you need to make a lot of trophies every day. And especially if you lose a game or two, you're gonna lose a ton of trophies. So yeah, you basically have to focus on Leon nonstop. The next question was actually asked by both Yuri and Sundar. They asked if he played with a team or in 3v3, so I just asked him, did you play in 3v3 matches? He said no. So he only played solo showdown. Alright, the next question is from QWERTY. I always mess up this name. I feel like I always say it wrong, but QWERTY. He asked, how did you deal with triple mid-range brawlers? So I reworded this question and asked how he dealt with bad matchups. And he honestly said, just outplaying them, to be honest. I was so experienced with Leon that he could just outplay pretty much any brawler. So that makes sense because you gotta actually have like a ton of skill with a brawler to push them so high. So you should be able to deal with pretty much any matchup at that point. Okay, so these next questions are both from Arjun. He asked, what's Leon's best star power? Bagelz says that Invisi-Heal is Leon's best star power. That makes sense because it gives him like a HP advantage. As long as you don't shoot and break your invisibility, you can heal up pretty quickly. And then he asked, what's the best modes and best maps? So I just combined it into one question. What's the best maps and modes for Leon? He said solo showdown is his best mode, and the map he had the most success with was Feast or Famine. Alright, the next one, Stellar. He asked, how much Leon were you playing to grind to 2K? He said, at the start, probably around 14 hours. That's insane. 14 hours a day. Could you imagine doing anything for 14 hours a day, let alone playing Brawl Stars? Like, I like Brawl Stars as much as the next guy, but after like 2 hours, I'm done with it. You know what I mean? Alright, so the next question, it was kind of similar between both Raven and, I think this is pronounced Durhasan. They both asked, how exhausting and how difficult was it to push Leon? He said, I asked him to do it on a scale from 1 to 10. He said a 9. So I can see that solo showdown is very frustrating and it's very volatile. So, and Leon's obviously not the best brawler in the game, so I could see that being pretty difficult for the most part. So a lot of people asked this question, so I'm just going to throw a couple of the screenshots of it up there. People asked, are you going to push another brawler like this again? And if so, who? And Bagelz replied, I'm planning on going for the highest ever trophies on a brawler. I will go for whoever is the best brawler in the showdown meta at that time. So he does plan on going for another crazy push like this, but he doesn't know when exactly, I'm assuming. So Sundar and Durhasan both asked this next question. They asked, how did you deal with teaming in Showdown? He said he had to team with them. Leon is very good in the end scenarios because you can go into the poison with Invisi-Heal, healing yourself up while you're in the poison from the star power and let everyone else do the fighting. So it sounds like basically his strategy was to team till it get to the end, and then you use Invisi-Heal to hide in the smoke, let everybody else fight, and then try to clean up the scraps as best you can. That makes sense. It sounds like a pretty solid strategy as long as you can make it to the end. Alright, the next couple questions are asked by Guru. The first one he asked was, can you describe your playstyle? He describes it as a smart aggro style. I'm assuming that means you're very patient and you pick your spots pretty well. That would be my guess at what smart aggro means. And then Guru asked, what's advice you would give to all Leon players? And then Bagelz replied, honestly, watch my gameplay and tips and tricks videos on my channel. Shameless plug. So yeah, go watch his channel. Try to watch his gameplay really closely and try to figure out when he decides to go aggressive and try to get kills and stuff like that. I'm sure if you pay attention, there's going to be tons of little things that you can pick up on his gameplay that you may not have. So just try to find those things if you're going to watch his gameplay. Alright, so the next couple questions are asked by Basic, aka Landcroc. He asked, are you going to do a voice reveal on your channel anytime soon? He said, probably not. Landcroc also asked if he ever thought of quitting Brawl Stars, and he said, yep, I nearly did, and that's why I started my YouTube channel, and it's all been uphill from here. Landcroc also asked if he got bored of playing Leon, and he said, definitely, in all caps. And like I said, playing for 14 hours a day on one brawler, over 100 hours in a 2-week span, that's just nuts. Of course you're going to get bored playing him, you know? You get bored of anything. Alright, the next question was asked by Lucas the Thing. He asked, what's a gadget idea for Leon that Bagelz has? And Bagelz said, maybe a gadget that instantly charges half of his super. I get that. When I play Leon, I always find that it's kind of hard to get your first super. And after you get your first one, you can cycle them. So that would definitely make Leon a little bit more viable. Maybe half is a little strong, but, you know, Leon's out of the meta, so I wouldn't be opposed to it. And then Mr. Hyrule asked our last couple questions of the day. He asked, what's your favorite star power of any brawler, and what's your least favorite star power of any brawler? Bagelz said his favorite is Dyna Jump, and his least favorite would be Counter Crush by Jackie. So, that's going to be all the questions. I'm pretty sure I got all of them. If I didn't, I apologize. But I didn't want him to ask, I didn't want to ask him 55 questions, you know what I mean? We did get a decent chunk, and I'm pretty sure I got 90% of them, so yeah. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Bagelz for letting me do this Q&A, hosting it on my channel. You know, I really appreciate it, especially, you know, me being such a small YouTuber, just getting in contact with him on Discord and him being so open to it. That was really cool of him. Definitely go check out his channel and drop him a sub. And I want to give a huge shout out to you guys, my subscribers, for asking him such really good questions. A lot of it's really interesting stuff to hear from somebody that pushed a brawler super high, you know what I mean? And I hope you guys enjoyed this style of content. Like I said, I feel like this would be better than actually just me asking him questions and waiting for a typed response. But anyway, that's going to wrap up this video. Let me know what you thought down in the comments, and I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.